Hey everybody, this is Dalton here, and today we're going to be doing some maintenance on my 2003 Kawasaki KFX400. I just pulled it out of storage. It's been sitting there for about 6 to 8 months now. Last time I went to the desert. And I'm going to do a carburetor cleaning and charge a battery and do some other maintenance. So this video will be about cleaning the carburetor on this bike. Pretty much I'm just going to pull it out, show you guys how to pull it out, show you how to take it apart, just show you the basics of cleaning the jets and cleaning out all the crud in the carburetor, and we're going to put it back in and fire it up. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so pretty much the first thing you want to do is you want to take the seat off, which there's going to be a little lever right where my hand is, right here. I lift up on the lever, the seat just pops right off. Okay, so you can see the carburetor here, right here, carburetor. And what you're going to need to remove the carburetor is a Phillips screwdriver and a pair of pliers. It doesn't really matter if you use channel locks or some needle nose or some regular old pliers. All you need to do is remove this, you zoom in here, that little clip right here. You snip it with some, you pull it in with some pliers, slide it back, slide the fuel line off. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back. So after you remove the fuel line, as I did here, I just pretty much clipped this in with my pliers and pulled it back, and then took a little screwdriver and helped get the line off. You also want to make sure that you have your valve on this particular quad in the on position, because on actually means off. It's pretty weird, because there's a reserve, a primary, and an on. There's no off position. So pretty much what the on means is that there has to be a vacuum to pull the fuel through. And if you just pull the line off, it's not going to come out. So you leave it on. Don't put it on primary. Primary means the gas is running all the time. But if you put it on, it won't come out. So after you remove the fuel line, let me tilt the camera up here. You're going to want to take a screwdriver and remove this Phillips screw right here. There also is going to be another Phillips screw way back up in here, but we're not going to get to that one yet. So you just take a screwdriver and remove this, or you remove it so then you can get the, can loosen it up here. See how it's loose? There, now it's loose. Alright, here we are. So now, you're going to want to look for the other screw that's up in here. We're going to want to remove that one. Okay, so after removing those two screws and making those clamps loose, you can go in there with a flathead screwdriver and kind of bend them until you pull the carburetor out, like I did here. I ended up taking my side panel off because it was a lot easier to get to. It's not a big deal. It's just a couple of these little pop things here. A couple of these. You just pop these out, push in the middle, and the side panel releases. You just pull the side panel out. So I ended up doing that. And after you get the carburetor like this, sometimes you don't actually need to pull it all the way out. You just need to get to these 4 screws here. There's a, let's see if you can see this. One screw here, one screw there, one screw there, and one screw there. Pull those 4 out, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so after you pull out the 4 bottom screws here, like I have, or I'm pulling out the last one here, this whole bottom piece is going to come off. But be careful, because there might be some fuel in it that could get on your hands. So you just got to pull the last screw out here. Alright, there we are. So, when you pull this off, there we are. And look at all that sludge in there. See all that sludge? Yeah. Gasoline and sludge. No wonder this thing didn't run very good. So anyway, what you're going to do now is this large jet here and the small jet here, you're going to pull both of those out and you're going to clean them. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, to pull the jets out, you're going to need to get a small screwdriver similar to this. Right here. It's a little flathead, and you're going to want to put it in the jet and turn it very You're going to turn it and try to get the jets out without breaking them off. So I'm going to have to grab a little bit bigger of a screwdriver here. And there we are. Just unscrew that. Hopefully you can see this. And there's the main jet. Right there. Don't want to lose these. Put them in a safe place somewhere where you won't lose them. And then pull the other one out here. There we are. A little pop. Because they've been in there for so long. And there's the smaller jet there. So next, what we're going to want to do is grab some Berryman's carburetor cleaner, B12, and we're going to want to clean the carburetor. Sorry about that. So what you're going to want to do here is grab some of this Berryman's carburetor cleaner, the B12 Chem Tool stuff, carburetor cleaner, and you're just going to want to spray the whole carburetor with it. Just rinse out all that crap from the gasoline, you know, all the, stick it in all the little holes and squirt it in there and can it all down and everything. Do this too. Lots of stuff in there. Get it all nice and clean. Nice and clean. There we are. And you can grab your jets here. Right there. Grab your jets. Put this in here. Spray through the jet. Make sure the jet's all nice and clean. Take the other one here. Get that one all nice and clean too. And then what you also want to do is there's a larger piece here that I forgot to pull out. So you can either grab your channel locks or you can grab a wrench here and you can just get it on that and turn it slightly, just enough so then we can start pulling it out with your fingers. You don't want to strip this in there. Pull that out with your fingers, and that is really, really gunky in there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's the main jet. That's the rest of the main jet right there. Those little holes. Want to make sure all the little holes are clear. Spray the chem tool through there. Make sure all the little holes are clear. Make sure that is clear. Just got the whole carburetor down in the chem tool stuff. Berryman's. Turn the carburetor this way and you can get all these holes in here too. Helps it out a lot. Make sure everything is nice and clean. There. What you can also do to even do a better job of this is you can grab your main jet here and you can grab a wire brush. You can grab a couple of the little wires on there, straighten them out. Sort of straighten them out. Kind of like that there. And you can put them through each one of these little things here. And put them through there. Clean it all out. Make sure each little hole in this jet is perfectly clear, because if they're not, your engine will not run correctly. Sorry I'm off camera. I can't really get this in the shot. But that's what you want to do. You just want to get through there. Wire brush it a little bit. Make sure all the stuff's off. Lots of crud on the jet. I'm not sure the last time this carburetor's ever been cleaned, if ever. Really needed it though. Grab the Berryman's again and just get the jet all good. Put through here. Put your finger on the end. Make sure it sprays through all the holes. Hopefully I didn't get the camera on that, but yeah, make sure you get all the holes on that. And you can start putting all the jets back in. You can take the big one here Screw that back on there. Like that. Actually, wait, no, you can't do that. Just a second. Gotta put this one in first. Put this one in. Screw that in by hand. Like so. And take your pliers or channel locks or whatever and tighten it down. Just about a half turn there. You don't want to go too much. Like that. You want to grab the other piece there with this little thing on it. You want to make sure that this little cup thing is on there. You just want to screw that in by hand for a second there. Just a little bit. Grab your screwdriver and finish screwing that in, making sure that it's all lined up and everything. You don't want to go too tight, you don't want to strip it. Just want to make sure it's in there but not too tight. Now you want to take your other jet here, the small one. Also want to run the wire brush through it. Making sure it's all clear, and yes, there was still stuff in there. And as you can see, hopefully this actually focuses like that. Pull that out. Jet's all nice and clear. Put the small jet back in. There's not really a need to pull out the float bowl because all the crud was in the bottom of the carburetor. It wasn't in the top because this thing's been sitting for quite a long time. Make sure that is back in there. There we are. Now you can take this piece here and you can place it back on. Make sure that this little indentation lines up with the indentation on the carburetor. Set this back on, making sure that that piece goes back in the hole where it's supposed to. Here. And then you want to put your 4 screws in. And then you'll be done. So I'll put the carburetor back in and come back and show you the engine firing up. Sorry guys, I actually forgot to pull out the third little jet here. There's another one. It goes right here next to the large jet right there. I pulled out this one and this one earlier, but I forgot to pull out that one. So I just pulled it out here, and we're gonna do the same exact things that we did with the large jet to this other jet here. Just pull it out of its little holder and wire brush it clean a little bit, get all the crap off of it, and stick the little brushes through the little holes, making sure that nothing is stuck in there. But don't force the brush. Just kind of stick it in there and make sure that it glides through, so then it just gets all the crud out. You don't want to force the brush into there. It's a big no-no. Put it in there and turn it. You can. Make sure everything is out. Take your bearings, stick it on the end here. Making sure it goes through there. Comes out all the holes. Then we can stick this this jet back in here. Correct way. Take a screwdriver here, which for this jet we actually needed the smaller screwdriver instead of the larger one for the other two. And just place this jet back in exactly where it goes. Make sure not to screw it down too tight. Make sure it is tight, but not too tight. So then we can go ahead and put this back on. Like that. Get our 4 screws. Which they were different lengths. You want to make sure that the longer ones go in the longer place and the shorter ones go in the shorter places. If they are different lengths, which mine are not actually. So just put them back in here. Get the Phillips here. Screw these all back in. Make sure you don't tighten them all. Like after you put one screw in, tighten it all the way. Just just get it in there. Just don't tighten it. Just put it in there loosely, because you want the gasket in here to seat perfectly. You don't want it to not seat right, or you'll be leaking gas. And you want to put the screws in cross, like one here, then one here, then here, then here, like you're putting on a tire to a car. That's the way you want to do it. Sorry, my arm's in the way, but like that. And the last one goes up here in this corner. And now you can tighten them all down. Make sure to get them tight, but not too tight. Here we are. Now you just want to put the carburetor back up and in there, just like you pulled it out. So I'm going to put the carburetor back the same exact way I pulled it back out, and we're going to start it up. All right. So I now have the carburetor reinstalled here. I just put the two screws back in here, a screw back in there, hooked up the fuel line, wedged it all in there. I do have to say that it will take some muscle to get it back in, because you have to bend the rubber to get to fit back in there perfectly. So it takes a little bit of muscle, but once you get in, it's all good. So I had to take the side panel off of my quad here, or the side panel. It's yeah, I had to pull the side panel off here, mainly because I couldn't get my hand up in here to get the carburetor in. So that was the only thing that I had to do that I didn't show on video. So yeah, that's how you install a carburetor in a Kawasaki KFX400 2003. Or clean the carburetor and remove it and reinstall it. Or I didn't really show the reinstallation part, but same thing as removing it, just backwards. But alright, let's start it up here. Alright, let's fire it up.